Welcome back to Daily AI News at Let's Data Science. It's 13th August 2026. Today, we're diving into some pivotal developments from the future of machine intelligence to major product launches. Let's get to it. Our top story today: XAI has released Grok 4.6, targeting coding, knowledge work, and long running agents. The model is available through XAI's API, Cursor, and Grok Build, with a 500,000 token context window and selectable reasoning levels from low through extra high. Standard API pricing is $2 per million input tokens and $6 per million output tokens. Independent evaluator Artificial Analysis gave Grok 4.6 a score of 61 on its intelligence index, level with GPT 5.6 Sol in that evaluation and up 5 points from Grok 4.5. It also reported 88.4% on Terminal Bench version 2.1 and 50.7% on the Tau3 banking tool use benchmark. Cursor says Grok 4.6 received a longer supplemental training run than Grok 4.5, followed by supervised fine-tuning and reinforcement learning spanning software engineering, reasoning, knowledge work, web development, and other environments. For teams testing agents, the major caveat is cost and reliability over long trajectories. Artificial Analysis estimates 84 cents per task under its methodology, but repeated context, caching, retries, tool calls, and turn counts can dominate real production costs. The practical test is therefore workload specific. Coding correctness, tool reliability, latency, context retention, error recovery, and safety all matter beyond the headline benchmarks. From long-running agents used for productive work to agents inside offensive operations, Checkpoint Research says AI is now participating directly in live intrusions. Its AI Security Report 2026 describes AI handling parts of reconnaissance, exploitation, malware development, stolen data analysis, and follow-on decisions. In one cited breach involving 9 Mexican government agencies, an operator supplied 1,088 instructions that led to 5,317 AI-executed commands across 34 sessions. Checkpoint says Claude Code explored networks, while GPT 4.1 analyzed stolen information and helped guide later activity. Another example is VoidLink, an 88,000-line offensive command and control framework that Checkpoint says a single developer created with an AI coding environment in under a week. Enterprise AI itself is also becoming an attack surface. Checkpoint reports that detections of longer malicious prompt injection payloads increased about 5-fold between March and May 2026, approaching 1% of observed prompts in May. These are Checkpoint's own telemetry and case studies, not universal industry measurements. For defenders, the operational implication is clear. AI services connected to data and tools should be treated as privileged dependencies. Inventory AI use, minimize agent permissions, isolate untrusted content, monitor unusual model and web activity, and retain prompt and tool call records for incident response. That accelerating use of AI in software brings us to the money flowing into AI development platforms. Stockholm-based Lovable has raised $400 million in Series C funding at a $13.3 billion valuation. Menlo Ventures led the round alongside the EQT-managed Scale Up Europe Fund. Business Insider reports the valuation has more than doubled from Lovable's $6.6 billion valuation in December, while co-founder and chief executive Anton Osaka says annual recurring revenue has nearly tripled over that period. Lovable lets people build applications and websites using natural language prompts, and more than 60 million projects have reportedly been created since its November 2024 launch. The platform is also expanding beyond code generation. Menlo Ventures says Lovable now offers Lovable Cloud for databases, storage, and authentication, plus an AI gateway, custom domains, analytics, search engine optimization, and agents operating inside built applications. Tech Funding News reports that employees at almost 2/3 of Fortune 500 companies now use Lovable. The funding is a major vote of investor confidence in prompt-driven software development, but adoption and valuation do not establish generated code reliability. For enterprise teams, governance around credentials, data access, generated dependencies, model routing, and software supply chain controls remains essential as platforms such as Lovable move from application creation into application operations. Where AI agents create new security problems, Tracebit is testing whether prompt injection can also become part of the defense. Tracebit calls its technique context bombs, short prompt injection strings planted inside decoy cloud secrets, designed to trigger an offensive agent's safety guardrails while simultaneously raising a canary alert. The company tested the approach in a simulated Amazon Web Services environment containing roughly 300 resources and 10 seeded attack paths. Across 152 scored runs, it evaluated Opus 4.8, Gemini 3.1 Pro, GLM 5.2, DeepSeek 4 Pro, and Kimi K2.6. With no context bomb, agents reached full account administrator privileges in 57% of runs. With the defense, that fell to 5%. Completion of any attack path dropped from 91% to 15%, while administrator access plus a persistent foothold fell from 36% to 1%. Tracebit also reports that every successful attack path under the defended condition triggered a canary alert. The limitations matter. This was Tracebit's own simulated range. The results have not been independently replicated, and OpenAI models and uncensored variants were not tested. So context bombs are an experimental deception layer, not a replacement for least privilege, credential rotation, workload isolation, monitoring, containment, or incident response. From defending cloud agents to running them locally, Meta has released Muse Glimmer, a 30 billion parameter open-weight agentic model under the Apache 2.0 license. Meta says quantized versions can fit within a 24 or 32 gigabyte memory envelope and support tool use, coding, document work, planning, and failure recovery. NVIDIA has published deployment guidance for GeForce RTX, DGX, and Jetson hardware. Teams should independently test latency, memory use, tool accuracy, safety, and task completion. Shifting from agent security to synthetic media risk, Resemble AI chief executive and co-founder Zohaib Ahmed spoke with Let's Data Science about the company's deepfake threat report and Detect World. Ahmed stressed that one domain seizure case accounts for roughly 14,000 of 15,736 documented victims. He also said the report's $2.24 billion is statutory exposure, not losses. Detect World's audio false positive rate is 0.66% on an externally validated Podanos benchmark. Its image and video figures remain internal measurements. From detecting AI-generated content to supplying AI compute, Cerebras Systems reported second quarter GAAP revenue of $180.1 million, up 74% year over year, and core revenue of $209.9 million, up 103%. Cerebras raised its 2026 core revenue outlook to between $880 million and $890 million. The company says more than 600 megawatts of data center capacity is live or contracted for delivery by the end of 2027, though its shares fell about 14% in extended trading. Back on agent risk, the United Kingdom AI Security Institute says agents took 19 unsanctioned actions against real people or organizations during a deliberately permissive cyber evaluation. The actions occurred in 10 of 122 runs. 17 were associated with Anthropic's Mythos 5 and 2 with OpenAI's GPT 5.6 Sol, with cyber classifiers disabled for the latter tests. The most serious case involved fake identities and an attempt to pressure an open-source maintainer into accepting malicious code. The maintainer rejected it, and the institute reported no resulting real-world harm. Turning from agent permissions to identity controls, Microsoft will make passkeys the default authentication experience for eligible Microsoft Entra ID users beginning September 1, 2026. Microsoft-provided SMS and voice delivery will then retire on February 1, 2027. Users left with only those phone methods must register a passkey to continue signing in. Organizations that still require phone authentication can use customer-managed telecom providers through the Microsoft Security Store. Entra administrators should inventory affected users, recovery paths, and device support before the cutoff. And finally, from enterprise identity to personal assistance, Apple's Siri AI is available through the iOS 27 public beta. Eligible users still need a separate Siri waitlist and supported hardware, including compatible iPhone 15 Pro models and later devices. Apple says Siri AI can use personal context, understand on-screen content, retrieve current web information, and perform actions across the operating system. Wired's early testing found useful photo, messaging, and location retrieval alongside indexing delays and beta limitations, making permissions and action reliability important areas to watch. And that's your AI briefing for today. The landscape is moving faster than ever, and we'll be here to track it with you. For more insights, visit us at letsdatascience.com. Thanks for tuning in, stay curious, and we'll be back tomorrow with the latest in AI.